Yeah, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is still Spotlight here on Yabatek Radio 89.3 FM. Apologies for the delay, but my guest is finally here. I know I took his profile earlier. He is Jaiyeola Ayodeji David. Good morning and welcome to the show. Hello, good morning.
Well, we're here. Thank you for having me, Comfort.
And that's all that matters.
As long as we're here now.
Yeah, you're welcome. Apologies for all of the stress and everything, but thanks for coming anyways. Now, let's start with the fact that you've worked a long time in the HR industry. And from your experience, would you say that the Nigerian graduates are employable? Let's start from there.
Okay. So, I wouldn't box the Nigerian graduate just like that. I think it's almost a thing for I think it's everywhere. So you have people with some certain skill set, right?
Yeah.
And you have some who try, to live up to the expectation. So you see, there's something called LinkedIn, right?
Okay.
I'll say it has made life easier. See?
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's you can measure yourself with what's happening in the industry, in the world, and see the kind of skill set people are acquiring and how employable they've become. People are working remotely. People are working for organizations outside of the country with the skill set that they have.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to box the Nigerian graduate to being unemployable.
What percentage? If you were to say, okay, a certain percentage of the Nigerian graduates are employable or are not employable, what would you say? I'm not trying to box you anyways, but...
You want my people to say, Mr. Deji, you went on air and crucified us. Yeah.
Okay, let's leave that.
So, I'll give you a brief. So, okay. I've been to close to 200 career-related events, right? And I hear the same question. I'm looking for a job. I have this degree. I've not been able to find anything suitable, right? And there was this narrative that there are no jobs available.
Yeah.
So I usually debunk that narrative.
Yes, I was going to ask you that question.
I'll say, okay, if there are no jobs available, that means all the HR professionals will be jobless. Thereabouts. It means they have nothing to do. The fact that you still have a booming HR industry means there are a lot of jobs. And if I'm still hearing that same question, there are no jobs, it means there is a skill set gap. And that is why some set of people are saying there are no jobs. Some set of people are saying I'm looking for candidates to fill the roles I have. So the question is, these candidates here, can they fill the roles here? At the very present time, I can tell you maybe like 60-70% might not be able to fill the roles available. You can fill that number. But so if you can cover the skill gap, then they might be able to do it. So there are jobs available. There are candidates available. Candidates are not skilled enough to fill some certain roles.
There's a mismatch.
Yes, exactly. There's an imbalance that needs to be worked on. If not, the question will still linger. I've been hearing this question for the past 10 years. So
exactly, and we're still talking about it. Anyways, what is the first step to helping these graduates become employable? Before you came, I was sharing my own experience of how I had to do a couple of internships, and those formed the basis of my career, helped me with, at least many HR professionals ask me how many years of experience you have. I had something to say. Good. So what can we do?
So I tell a lot of these graduates that you need to take up activities. Let me use that word, because I'm going to explain what activities will mean in a short while. Activities being volunteerism, right? You take up some responsibilities. You're working somewhere, an intern, holiday job, you are gathering some sort of workplace experience. Yeah. And you're also building your network in that office. Yeah? That's the first part.
Yeah.
Second one is trying to apply for some internship roles. It might be remote. It might be a freelance role.
Remote is now. That
remote before
is
it was not there.
It was not there.
Now we can talk about remote because you can work for people remotely, and they pay you. You do their job, and everybody is fine. So if you work remote for a year and you didn't even leave your house, it's still a year experience. It doesn't remove the fact that you are going into Lagos traffic and coming back every day. No. What matters is the thing you are adding to the company or the person you are working for. So you need to gather your experience in that little pockets. This is what people don't realize.
Yeah.
If you don't gather these experiences, you won't sharpen the skill sets that you have, and you won't realize the new skill set that you might need to develop. So it is the skills acquisition, it is the experience gathering, it is the network building that will give you the difference, that will make you set apart. There is another joker. The joker is called LinkedIn.
Okay.
So that's the fourth point. It's the joker. Aside all this thing I'm talking about, a very well optimized LinkedIn page will throw you into the atmosphere. Let me use that word. It will place you in front of people. HRs pay premium fees to look for candidates on LinkedIn because they get paid. Now, what candidates don't know is the fact that if an HR gets you, finds you suitable, you've made their day. It's not the other way around. Of course, it's a, how do I put that thing? Is it symbiosis, they call it?
Yeah,
a mutual relationship.
Thing, yes.
So I'm gaining, you are gaining.
Mutually beneficial.
You get, it's mutually beneficial to both parties. So if I find you suitable for a role, I'm going to get paid for that thing I just did. You are going to get employed for being suitable. So we are helping each other out. So it means if you prepare yourself to be that choice candidate, you are helping HRs solve their problems. So it's not like they are helping your life.
Now, you talked about the LinkedIn optimized.
Yeah.
Please shed some light on this. I know a lot of people do not really know what.
Yeah, people don't really know what
so
LinkedIn
tell
is.
us
So
about it.
I was on a space session on Twitter, I think a few days ago, and the guy was talking about the value of LinkedIn, how it helps branding, and I was brought on to speak a bit about it and about what it has done in my own career. Let me put it that way. LinkedIn has been like a problem solver for me over the time. And say from between 2019 and now, that's like 3 years ago, the amount of work that I have done via LinkedIn is almost on. I can write a book. I actually wrote 2 books about that. So yeah, to show you the level of impact. So let's start with the trainings I've done. Close to 12 trainings, virtual, physical trainings to people. That means close to 1,000 plus people have been trained because of the LinkedIn space that I have. And I've been able to grow my presence on that platform. I get job offers on the bounce. I don't want them because I was running my thing. I have a company that we started in 2020, but of course, COVID let us launch it. 2021, this year. We've moved from a staff strength of 5 to 31 in a space of 6 to 7 months. No, I actually employed 20-something people in the last month. November, thereabouts. So the company has grown that big, and we found our resources on LinkedIn. Our investors, our partners, the people we employed from LinkedIn. And that's the company growing big. I have sitting in my hands 1,000 jobs.
Wow, to fill.
Even though we will say we just created that job ourselves, right? So if you've heard about Around 360, you will know what we do. We do bicycle. We use bicycles to deliver food for people. It's different. It hasn't been done commercially in Nigeria, and we're bringing that down. And next year, we're looking to get like 1,000 people to join
the team.
The team to help us deliver across Lagos, across southern part of the country, southwest, Abuja. So you see that the number is increasing.
Yeah.
And if I tell you the basic, like, say roughly give or take a rider, responsible present rider should be able to earn close to like 100,000 every month. Yeah,
wow, bicycle.
So now
you're looking for people who can ride bicycle, just bicycle.
Yeah, bicycle.
Let's take it again. Just riding bicycle.
Yeah, that bicycle you ride when you were a kid, and you fall down and get up.
Students, where are you guys? Please now, come and get jobs.
Yeah, they can make money from our company because
get jobs.
We just moved to the mainland. My team, I think they've been around for today's what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
They've been here since Monday, going about from store to store, signing up stores. Of course, they told me they will need riders. Okay, don't worry, when I get around, I'll probably talk about it. Maybe students might want to jump in and, okay, can I work part-time? Of course you can work part-time as long as you're available. Wow. So people, so yeah, look at that part now. Somebody will tell me there are no jobs, and I'm telling you I have 1,000 to fill.
Wow.
You see? Aside that, there are so many.
The skill you need for this job is
be able to speak English.
Speak English and ride bicycle.
Have an Android phone. Ride
Android
bicycle.
phone, ride bicycle, speak English.
Know how to wear clothes.
070-1800-1783. 091-3138-4110. If you have questions, if you're looking for a job, call. Call. Okay, now we've heard a lot about the future of work. Can you quickly tell us what it's all about and how can graduates look forward to it?
So, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago when future of work became a big deal. They would say fourth revolution, blah, 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 blah. And then it feels like, oh, virtual reality, this, blah, 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 Internet of Things, AI.
Robotics.
They'll come and take over your jobs. I'm like, yeah, nobody's coming to take over your jobs. Basically, what they're asking you is gear up yourself. Get into this future of work. Get into this. I think COVID fast-tracked it for us.
Yes.
We're going to be thinking remote working in maybe like 5 years, but COVID brought it to us 2020. People I worked remotely for the whole year.
There are some companies that have not resumed.
Yeah.
And they don't even plan to resume.
A lot of my friends still work from home. Their companies still want to work remotely. So my friend was like, that they save money working remotely. They don't pay for office. They don't pay for utilities. They don't pay for fuel. So it favors some big company to work remotely.
They can even rent out their space.
Yeah, just push it out. So you see that it's already here. So for a candidate, it's about skill sets. What kind of skills are you acquiring? Some years ago, secretarial study would have been something, I can go using of Microsoft Word. But one skill that still keep jumping in your face is, what's that thing called? Excel. Very, very vital skill. I think it pivots a lot of other skill sets.
Yes,
if you are going to go,
data
analysis, HR analytics, and all that thing. So if you want to, you want to talk about future of work, Internet of and all that, can just go into this new skill set people are acquiring, machine learning, AR, VR, all those things. Get into it. Start from data analysis at the very beginning, product management, and see what people are learning and how they are acquiring skills that will be useful for them in 5 years. But of course, those skills are not currently useful because some company will employ you based on just those skill sets. I have friends that work just remotely. They are freelancers. They are earning good money because they've created some sort of relationships and then they've networked with some clients
and
that now
skill.
they have. I have a friend who has been working as a freelancer since 2016. That's what he's been doing. And he's comfortable. Real good job. And he gets 70% of his clients on LinkedIn. The rest, they come from the people that came on LinkedIn. Referrals. And so you see that there is a plethora of opportunity for whoever wants to jump into that boat.
Okay, so there are so many skills needed in the 21st century that are not being taught in our universities, in our schools. So how do you think we can incorporate this into our system?
How do I put it? So if you go back 10 years ago, there are some skill sets that weren't even taught in our institution that were very relevant, right? But they weren't even taught in school. So what people did was go outside of the school, learn, right? Now, what the schools are doing now is form some sort of partnerships where they partner with these institutions, these organizations that now train people and then do like a synergy where they train some students over a course of period. Some schools go that far because they know that it might be not that easy to inculcate or incorporate that skill set or that new skills into their curriculum. So they allow for some partnerships. I do some partnership works with schools. They call me, I come around and we do a bit of introductions towards some sort of skill set, and then it opens the eyes of the students, and then they go out there and look for it. There are so many
curious
skills.
mind will go out there to find out more about it. So you have to just introduce them into it.
That's it. It's just to I just put my put the information out there in front of you and say, okay, you need some certain skills. I say, have you heard about blockchain technology? Have you heard about data analysis? Have you heard about VR? Have you heard about machine learning? And then you go and look for, machine learning. And you bring out some other skill set and you go there. Before, I'll say, you go to, Coursera. There's Udemy. But now there are Nigerian companies teaching those similar things. There's Ulysses, there's Utiva, there's a lot of them. So you can develop an interest in something and jump into it. It's right there. You need to take advantage as a student. If you don't, you might be off the radar in a few years.
Okay, in Nigeria today we have, just before you came in, Tosin was telling me how she wanted to do banking and finance and she ended up studying sociology. We have the problem of what they gave me, what I want to study versus what they gave me. So how do we merge these things? How do we solve this problem that, okay, this is what I want to study, but the school gives me this and I don't want to lose the admission?
So, okay, let me use myself as an example.
Yes, I actually wrote it down, but because we don't have enough time, we studied chemical engineering.
So I did chemical engineering. Then,
Okay.
So I was in Yabatech for a few years. I did civil engineering in Yabatech, before I went to do chemical engineering. So I'm engineering, for
All
like
the
6-7 years. But I think the only engineering company I worked for would be during my internship, way back. And I've worked in several tech companies. I'm running one now. So you see that it's sometimes you go to school to, how do I call it? It's a basis. It's a startup point. Yeah. It allows you to learn a few things. So I tell guys, don't waste time in school. Just don't do class, like a classroom, fellowship, or whatever you go to. Find some other things you can do. Join some other organizations in school that will expose you to some other things. You might get a scholarship to learn some course. Something else that might add to your passion. You discover some of the things you want to do through meeting people and through engaging in projects. If you don't do all those, you might be boxed. So you might study botany or zoology and you think, you have to get out and look for a zoo to work or, or a fish farm to work. I'm like, how do you want to do that to yourself? So you need to expose the horizon of the circle you keep, the kind of events you go for, the kind of networking session that you engage in. You see, so throw yourself out there and you will find opportunities waiting for you. It's now very open. Before we say, connection. No, I have given hundreds of people jobs without knowing them from anywhere, just because they reached out to me. And at that point, I had something that I was trying to fill. And I said, okay, let me see your CV. Does it look good? If it looks like it, I'll call you for interview. I don't have time for, my uncle, your brother, please, I have more things to do with my time than looking for that.
Okay, now let's look at the issue of NYC. For some people, they went for the youth service year, and afterwards they probably stayed where they went to, they got jobs. For some people are saying, clamoring that the NYC should be scrapped and all of that. How do you, what do you think about this? Do you think it should be revamped or scrapped?
So, personally, for me though, I think I would say it should be revamped. There's so many things to this NYC issue. There's a lot of bureaucracies here and there, but from the experience point of view and from the student's point of view, the candidate's point of view, I'll say it needs to be revamped in a way that it allows these students or candidates maximize the potential that might be available. So, for example, I'll say if I was in government, I will pay companies, to employ people. So I'll give you some sort of a bait. Say, okay, if you employ this amount of people who wants to work in this place, I will give you something in return.
Like maybe tax.
Something. I will give you something so that you employ them. So that 1 year will not be called NYC experience. It will be experience.
Yeah.
So that you can take it and add whatever experience you get to it so you can get a real job. And if you are good enough, they can retain you. So it should be for proper professional development of these graduates, not just a year to waste away. My own NYSC, it didn't waste away because I worked in a very strong company,
Well, some of us are thrown to the village. One village like that. I was just there for 1 year, angry.
Yeah, I know, right? I hear people say they're just whiling away time. They didn't do anything.
I was angry.
It's sad. That 1 year should be maximized to the fullest. I know that I can't say yank it all off, but we have to consider and remodel the scheme to favor everybody, security-wise, remuneration-wise, experience-wise. Everything that embodies a person's well-being should be considered, and I should be alive and well when I'm done and experienced, and of course with some money from the government when I'm done. So yeah.
Okay, now tell us about some of the roles that you're currently filling.
Okay.
What is required and who can apply for them?
So here is the thing. I have Okay, let me start from the one. I have one HR role I'm trying to refer somebody to. That's one. I think it's in Lagos, it's in VI. There is I'm already recruiting for I think I'm looking for people with customer relationship experience. Like 8 positions are open for that. And of course, I'm looking for people who can work with my company as riders in their community. So our business is in the community. We are eco-friendly. We don't use no fuel. We're using bicycles. We have introduced scooters, electric scooters.
The bicycles.
Yeah, provider. We're bringing electric bikes next year, January.
Wow.
Power bike.
Next month. That's next month.
Yes. Proper ones, and up to like 1,000 of those.
I wish you well, though. I'll tell you that after the show.
No, don't worry. I got that figured out already. So yeah, I'm looking for people who will be able to jump into these opportunities and do something. They can go to the website. It's easy, around360.ng. If they go to that website, they will see where they can apply for that.
Is there a guarantee that we'll go to your website, we'll get jobs? Not all these audio websites that you get one tailored mail at the end of the day. Thank you for applying for.
You won't even get an email. You won't get an email. You will get a form that you will put in your details, and then the operations team will call you and tell you where are you located, can you come to the office so we can give you a small training and things like that. So there are opportunities out there.
They say time goes when you're having fun. Let's wrap this up. So final words to students, to graduates, entry level, those who are looking for a job at this time.
So my word for you is there are a few things you need to put together. One, try and drop a good CV. Look at that CV and see if you will employ yourself. When you finish that CV. I've seen some CVs that I just went back to sleep after looking at them because it was not worth it. So look at that CV, look online, look for a good template, a very good CV. That's one. Be present in a platform that allows you see opportunities. There are so many groups that you can join on Telegram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I have a group that has close to 15,000 people, and we post jobs there every day. I have 10 admins. There is LinkedIn as well. If you use your LinkedIn very, very well, you will have opportunities. I've mentioned 3 things. So, and finally, be ready. Be ready to resume. Like, be prepared. A lot of people are not prepared. Yeah, they are not prepared. They don't know what they are doing. I've called someone on the spot and asked them what they want to do, and they don't know. So yeah, that will be all for me to them. I wish them the best of luck.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Even though we had short time, but we have a lot to cover. But thank you still for coming on the show. To our listeners at home, I hope you found today's show interesting and educating. Do have a beautiful Wednesday. Compliment of the season. Jaiyeola, I'm sorry. Not that early.
Yeah.
Mr. Jaiyeola, I'm still going to have you on the other program. I'm going to have you in like because they're not too really discussing.
No problem. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Let's